YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So, we're going to get these great big massive aluminium A-arms fitted on the Dragon Hammer. So, let's have a look what we need. So basically, we're going to have to remove the steering rods. So they're going to have to come off. We're going to have to remove certainly the bottom bracket and the suspension, bottom of the shock, and we're going to want all this off. So first things I'm going to do is remove these two, and then probably going to undo these two so I can take this front off completely, and that'll let us get to the hinge pins, because we're going to need them off. So these two screws and the two at the front, we'll get them out and then get back to you. So once the two bottom ones are loose, if you just loosen these off a couple of turns, it will let you bring that up and turn it out of the way. Right, so next we're going to have to remove these two, because we want the shocks off. So that one, and then we're going to have to remove these four, because we're going to keep all that in place, because we're just changing these arms out to start with. So it's going to be these four, one up front, one up back of each side, and these two. So them two, that one, and we'll get all them off. Right, once you've got all your hinge pins out, shocks off, you've then got one more screw around the back that holds the sway bar on, because I believe the sway bar is slightly different sized on the next one, on the aluminium arms as well. So you should just be able to remove this one. You've got one on each side. Right, once you've got all that out, you then want to remove this, because we've got the sway bar and everything loose now. So you then want to remove this. Once this is off, you've got to your hinge pins. You should be able to pull both them out, and then the plastic arms will just drop away. So we'll get that off. So basically, once all your hinge pins are out and you've got all the screws out, the stabiliser bar ends, the little tiny screws that are in the back of these, just got an hole there and there, and you can basically slide this whole assembly out. So we're going to slide this off, we're going to slide the plastic arms off, and then we're going to put the metal arms on in their place. Right, so once you put in the aluminium arms back on, you want to make sure the hole for the anti-roll bar is lined up at the back, and you've got a shock mount at front, damper at rear, same on this side. Make sure this little connection bracket for the anti-roll bar is to the rear of it. Right, I'm going to have a look at this. The anti-roll bar supplied with the kit is slightly narrower spacing. Not sure if we can get a good shot of it. So we want these four out and the anti-roll bar switched. So we'll crack on with that. So that's the original anti-roll bar. You see it's got slight different design shape, and also the end links are a lot longer on the one supplied with the aluminium arms. So let's get that into position. That's the new sway bar in position. It's the same diameter as the original, so luckily these were pretty close, but you just want enough play but no movement back and forward. Right, so the kit doesn't come supplied with any new screws to hold the anti-roll bar, so I'm going to try the original ones that was in the plastic arms, see if they fit, but we'll get them screwed in. The stock screws fit perfect, so we've got them in place, and now we want to get us hinge pins back in. So I'll get all four of them back in, and then I'm going to put the front shocks back on. So we'll get them back in position. So all 4 of the bottom bolts, hinge pins, whatever you want to call them, and then we want the shocks back in. So I'll get them all put back where they should be. So we get in there now. So all 4 bolts back in the bottoms of the shocks are back on, and then round the back we've got the little screw that holds the sway bar, anti-roll bar, and these are all tightened back up. So we just need to drop this back down, get it into position, close it up with those 2, and then just nip these 2 back up, and then we can move on to the extra set of dampers that it comes with. And I believe it needs the alternative tie bars on the steering, these ones, to work the way around the extra dampers. So we'll get these tightened up, the 2 little ones on the top down there somewhere, and then we'll move on to dampers. Moving up to the dampers, we've got all these extra bits. So we need this screw off the back, because I believe this goes onto there to give you the extra mount for the rear damper. So let's get them on both sides. So it'll be that bit, and I believe the washers are for the end damper. So we just need that off on both sides and swapped over for those. This is what it's going to look like when you've got it fixed on. And what you're removing from the old one is the washer and the lock nut. And then just to give you an idea of what order it goes on, so you're going to want that screwed on, and then you're going to put that on that way round. Then the damper's going to go on. Then you're going to have the washer I put with the rounded side towards the damper, and then the new locking nut on the back. So I'll get all this tightened up and then see what it looks like. So that's the dampers fitted, and the last thing we've got to swap over is this steering link, because when you turn all the way in, it's pretty close, there's no clearance. So you fit these to angle it out away from the bottom of the new dampers. So we just need to get them fitted. So I'm going to take this off and then just loosen those 2 and wind it out and get this one in place. So that is all the stock pieces that you're not going to use anymore. And that is basically how you get it fastened on. Don't forget to tighten these back up, stop it spinning round and coming loose. But when the suspension is pushed all the way in now, it gives you clearance when it's turned all the way fully. But that is the Dragon Hammer Voltz alloy front end and twin damper setup on a Dragon Hammer V2. But really like the way it sits, especially this bit. Seems to gear a bit more clearance up here for bashing over stuff. And we've got all the pins back in, all the standard screws fit on the shock and everything. These end caps, they do come with some inside, and you do get some extra ones to put on. Not sure why, just dropped them on, they come with it. But it's getting there now. Definitely like the look of it. Whether it's functionally better or not, who knows. It just looks nice having shocks and dampers up front. Working on something for back end. Back end slightly different at Dragon Hammer Voltz, so we're going to have to come up with something. See if I can do the same on the rear. This conversion's a lot easier than getting them to fit on the back. But that's how it looks, that's how it fits. And thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. If you like these videos, like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And I'll catch you guys again in the next one.